So I'm going to redo the walk around video. First time I tried it, I was using a GoPro, had it mounted to my forehead, and the framing of the video was terrible. So all the things I was pointing out to you were, you couldn't see them. So we're going to try it again. Here is my 56 pan. I figured, you know, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,000 pictures. So let's start with this. If there's, you know, additional things you can't get a clear view of in the video, we'll shoot some specific pictures, but I figured this would give you the best overall look at the bike. So here we go. As you are well aware, we're looking at a 1956 Harley-Davidson Panhead. Let's start with a VIN. I know what it is. Let's see if we can get it in the frame. 5.6 FLH 4195. Now, as you may or may not know, the difference between an FL and an FLH is performance. The FLH was the hot rod of its day. You will see regular, they're both 74 cubic inches. The FLH from the factory had high performance heads, so they were ported and polished, and it had a different cam in it. Oh, I know what I can show you. This is kind of entertaining. Wait a minute. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Original 1956 Harley advertising. And there's the FL. Here's the FLH, and if I read it, here's the motorcycle that leads the field. Built for those fellows who are looking for extra acceleration, speed, and power. So it's kind of the factory hot rod of its day. It's interesting that guys figured out the FLH because of the power was the best for touring, loading up with extra weight. And over the years, it evolved into the bagger. But back in 56, it was a hot rod. So, you know, it's got an aftermarket cam in it. It's got an Andrews J grind, so you don't get, you know, which is better than the stock cam of the day anyway. Really the only thing we're going to get here is the FLH heads, which are kind of special and pretty hard to find. I don't know if I can get you a picture of those head castings or not. And we're going to try here. Let's see what we got. I believe the casting marks are up under here somewhere. There it is right there. And boy, you can't see that. So, let me get a flashlight. One last try. All right, I'm short of hand. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, man. This may be one of those things I need to get you a picture of. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get you pictures of that. Okay. Let's keep going here. So the other thing I told you about it, it's got an aftermarket lowers on it. To be honest, I forget if the uppers are the originals or not. Sorry, I just don't remember. Maybe there's a way to tell. If I was a betting man, I'm going to bet that it was new tubes all the way up. 99% sure original triple trees though. Original steering dampener here. Does have the lock in the frame. I've never had the key to it. I've never had a desire to lock it. But the lock is there if you want to get a locksmith to key it up and make it work. A little bit of aftermarket stuff under here just to accommodate the hydraulic brake lines. It has got the original, I'm going to call that the timer. Some guys call it a distributor. It's really not a distributor. It's old wasted spark ignition. There's nothing to distribute. It hits both cylinders at the same time with a spark. Just one of them's dead, wasted, because it's on the top of the exhaust stroke, I guess, instead of compression. Dun, dun, dun. I'm running exhaust without the, I don't know, they've got covers on them. I know you can find them in the aftermarket easy. They rust. I like the cleaner look of the bike. That's one thing I do to this thing is you'll see a lot of them where guys just go nuts trying to build it out with every possible accessory. I kind of went the opposite route. I tried to keep this bike clean. I just think they look a lot better that way. There's very few, you know, I'll say options on it, but one of them you're looking at right here. So oil filter was not, I think it was an option. Not all these pans had them. That's not just an oil filter. It's got this cast aluminum cover on it. They're kind of hard to find, but pretty slick. In theory, it acts as an oil cooler. To be honest, I just put it on there because I like the way it looked. Old original 4-speed tranny. It's got, as I mentioned, upgraded close ratio gear set inside of it. Kind of a theme throughout. Upgraded, you know, of course it got new pistons and rings and cam, and that is an S&S oil pump right there with an oil pressure gauge. Don't freak out about oil pressure. Guys who know these bikes tell you it's more about flow than pressure once it gets warmed up. I do run straight 60 weight in it in the summertime here, and actually just did the oil change on it within the last week. I mentioned that it's got a lithium-ion battery inside of here. There's a box that fits into the hole. It exactly matches the old battery. In fact, those terminals are part of the box. Inside the box are the leads that go down to the lithium-ion battery. Right now it's working great. I got no reason to think it's not going to keep working great. I just don't have super high confidence in this lithium thing in this environment of an old generator and mechanical regulator. So we shall see how long that lasts. Should talk about fuel shutoff. So originally there's a shutoff valve in the left side of the tank. Runs up here. You got a control. Notorious for leaking. Aftermarket ones are crap. I went with this aftermarket solution, which has got this is basically the valve right here. It's closed right now. There it is, open when you're done, back closed. Fuel filter, because of this, I went soft lines instead of the hard, and that also couples in with how the Super E is going. So I mentioned fuel filter here. There's another shutoff valve that I just put in the last year. It's on the input to the Super E. Let's see if I can get my finger on it. It's right there. It's a brass fitting. You unscrew it, and I just keep them both shut. Last thing I want is a fuel leak, possibly leading to a fire or something. Extra careful about that. What else? So, aftermarket Speedo. I had the original. I actually had 2 originals. I could always get them to work, but I could never get them to work for more than about a month. I don't know if the guy rebuilding them, in some case that was partly me, didn't get them clearanced right, but they just start to make noise and bind, and I finally got tired of fighting it. Put the aftermarket one in. It actually looks pretty good. The only real tell on them is those 2 little screws right there. Originals don't have that, but if you go to this bike, I'll give you both of the originals, and you can have somebody knows what the heck they're doing, rebuild it. They're pretty spendy if you find them. Oh, what else? Original tanks, 99.99% sure they got all the mounts for these original badges. But I will say the mounts are stripped, and at least in a couple places, on their tiny little screws. So it's held on there with modern automotive adhesive tape, and the screws are RTV'd in there just to hold them in place. They're doing some good, but I think it's mostly the adhesive holding those badges on. They've been on there for 15 years. I don't think they're coming off. So not an original panhead muffler for this year. That fishtail style, you see it more on knuckleheads. Came with a bike. Like I said, I bought the bike in pieces. I like it. You wanted to go super original, you just put a straight pipe on the end of it. Original 56 taillight. This is this little piece of glass. I said that at least when I was hunting for it, unobtainium. Really easy to find the plastic ones. Those glass ones are like hen's teeth. Mentioned 6-volt coil, 6-volt generator. Had a little bit of getting dirty up here. Got to clean that up. Based on where that is, I'm going to check the head bolts. Mouse trap, works the way it should. Never had any troubles with it once I got it set up. Headlights a little wonky. Honestly, I don't ride the bike at night. It works, it's just not very bright. I'll turn it on for you. There it is, it works. Maybe I'm just used to modern bikes and what a headlight should do for you. I've played around. I actually threw an LED bulb in there for a while, and sure enough, the charging system just smoked it within. It was a piece of junk from Amazon. It was probably just a bad bulb. Kind of got to decide if you're going original or if you're, trying to upgrade things. I don't know what else you want to see. Let's start with this. If there's specific things you want pictures of, you let me know and I'll get them shot for you. I guess, yeah, that's it. Thanks. Bye.